Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the fire would be delightful. Since it's got nowhere to go, let her blow, let her blow, let her blow. So, I got a problem here because the first of these that I put together as a test platform, I turned the barrel down a little smaller maybe than I should have. Well, I don't know that yet. I can't get this answer. I'm talking to everybody. It's chrome moly barrel. I've got it turned down. We'll talk about that later. Bottom line is running the numbers, it's 50-50. And I decided there's no test like the empirical test. So here we are. We're just gonna pull the trigger and see what happens. I'm in a room. I might break a window over here. I'm gonna go behind a wall. I've got stuff here, but got my sled. I took a cheap Simmons scope and I bolted her on here. I've got her lined up with something down there. We're gonna load it up. We're testing a number of things here that are complete unknowns. This stock is just mildly bolted together. It's got 50 screw holes in it. I've got one here. It's wobbly. I got one here. But right now, I decided before I waste a bunch of time on this setup, I gotta find out if it's gonna blow up or not. Now that might sound pretty backwards, but this again goes back to doing something that's never been done. 15 pound, 50 BMG. And I want it to recoil lightly. So I bolt her into a sled here. We'll see how it recoils. Might come right off the table. I don't know. I think this big old brake will hold her down. All the numbers work except this one number right here. The chamber is turned down to a size that I cannot get an answer for. As far as I can tell, nobody has ever turned a chamber down to the size that I've got here. So I'm clear, I'm backed up. If the pieces fly, I'm behind a wall. But right now what we're going to do, without further ado, we're going to test this thing. It's not going to be much of a video, but I figured I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get it documented anyway. I bore-sided it on a stump, and it's a good sized stump. It was a, I don't know what it is, 8-9 footer down there. Been there a while, got dirt up behind it. I think I can hit the stump. Got a scope on here. But here's the thing. I found myself hung up because of this thing I did with the barrel. And it's been messing with me. I got this brake to test. And it's slip fit on there. It's clamped on, but I want to make sure it doesn't blow up. I got this short barrel. If it blows up, it's going to take the scope apart. That I can pretty much guarantee. I don't think it's going to blow up. If I did, I wouldn't have turned it down like that. But everybody I'm talking to a man, universally, is telling me I'm retarded. So, with this turned down, and the chance that it's going to blow sky high, I put this Simmons scope on here. I don't expect, even if the barrel blows apart and goes down range, I don't expect it to wreck the action, which is the important part to me. Yeah, that's a $700 Lilja blank. So no, I don't want that blank to blow up. But the work is done. And this is where, at some point in a person's life, you gotta, as they say, pull the trigger. Well, that's what we're gonna do right now. The tests involved are a slip-on muzzle brake with clamps. Will that work for a 50 BMG? I'm going with a factory load. Hornady or something. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. It's a factory load, After we do that, we can start taking measurements. I don't want to set up my strain gauges on here, just because I don't want to. I've got so much time in this thing that I'm at a point where if the barrel's going to blow, it's going to blow. So I'm going to proof test this sucker. I'm going to start with factory loading. I don't know if the camera's going to attenuate the blast or not, but I should get a visual record. And I'll warn you right now, and I'll probably warn you again when I go to pull the trigger. Hey guys, hold your hands on your ears. This might be righteous loud. I don't know. All I know is that I've got a system that I must test. It's torqued to 225 foot-pounds. The barrel is in there. It's in an approved action with a 10 inside. That's a proven thing. All that has happened is, in the interest of saving weight, I've tapered this barrel down more than people are telling me I should. And I've got a super lightweight stock on here. I don't know what it's going to do. So I put a string over it here. I wrap some blasting wire around it up here, so hopefully it doesn't just fly sky high. And I expect the sled to move to here. If it moves much more than that, I'm going to be unhappy, because the third thing in my exercise here is that I don't want this thing to recoil more than a 30-06. So I think we got the recoil handled. I think everything here is safe. What worries me most is my mental apparatus is up against the wall, because I don't dare get down on this thing and start working with it in case the barrel's going to blow up. I've blown up guns in the past. I know how hard it is to get them to blow. I know some of the things that make them blow, but in simple fact right here, I turned the cylinder over the chamber down far enough that we've run hoop stresses and analyses till we're blue in the face. Well, we don't know the answer. So, I'm wasting 10 minutes of video to document and just see what happens. And if it goes without incident, then I can hold the gun. Then I can try a few of the other things. Then I can get down and start making up loads. But I'm now on 4 of these bad boys. I got a hold of Macmillan, and they had a beast number 2 stock in stock. That was a turn down, it was a flat top, it was something that they weren't going to use. I don't even know the weight of the build. I'll strip all that out if I have to. It's a fiberglass build, which is, but they sold it to me for $1,000. So now, this is the stock that started it all. To try and hold down this East Ridge State Arms action. I've also got a Noreen, and I've got 2 more of these actions on the way. So in the long term of this test, this is my initial lightest weight. Frankly, I went a little overboard. I went right for my 15 pounds, which was, that's why I'm out here hiding behind a wall and hoping this thing doesn't blow up. I was going to work down, start with a 25-pound gun, work my way down. And one of my stocks in there, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm doing lightning holes in it. I've started with a pretty heavy, and I'm going to drill lightning holes and get the stock. This is just parts of metal out of my scrap bin, and it came together, and I put it together, and I'm like, okay, this can make my pound gauge. That's all we're testing here. And I did some swag in my head bone, because I can do that. And I swagged this chamber area, and I went out and I tapered it down, and I did. Afterwards, I questioned myself, because I am the safety geek. So, this is to answer those questions. I realized that the common way to do this is to set up a 20-minute video and preamble on forever and lead you. I consider that to be total clickbait. So this is only going to be a 10-minute video. And what happens after that is going to happen after that. We are going to go ahead and pull the trigger on this pig. See what happens. I don't know what else to do. I have to test it and see if it's going to hold up or not. Okay. 80-pound tough line here. I'm going to get back behind the wall. It's a jewel trigger on there, so I'm trying not to trip it. Again, I'm going to warn you. Hold your ears, folks. This could get downright cowboy. I don't know. Well, that was fairly anticlimactic. Let me, oh, it smells good. Woo! Nothing like the smell of gunpowder in the morning. This is what we have here. I'm going to show you that skinny little barrel just because I've got time. It didn't blow up. End didn't blow off. Now I'm going to go inside and do a bunch of stuff. Here's the root of the problem, people. I went after this in the pouring down rain. Let me show you again. It's gross out there, okay? It is gross. So, back to the subject at hand. There is our exoskeleton in all of its glory. The problem occurred right here. So I'm going to do testing on this. There's going to be some things. Let's find out how it comes out. Got a bit of a click, but all in all, a successful fire form. Now, I'm not going to do this on video because this is a lot of on video. But the next thing is to set up an adjacent table. I'm going to go ahead and test some more. But frankly, look at that. That's a 15-pound BMG and it only pushed my little sled. We free recoiled this sucker. I'm not going to tell you or go back through all of the work that I go through to set up my scales and my graphs and all of my stuff that goes along with using this recoil sled. But I've got to, now I normally use the sled down on the concrete. I've never used it up here on wood, so it slides, but it just slides with hand pressure. You know, it's not there's nothing magical about it. And it slid this far before the brake caught it. So at this point we are 100% successful. Now is the time to leave the apparatus set up, take this case, work it up to destruction, and find out if I destroy the case first or the gun blows up. That's my way of proof testing. But at this point, we got her done. Got one down range, go down and see where it impacted and find out how close this scope is. So one more day in out of the rain, and now hopefully, oh, I can't shoot this out the window, but hopefully I can shoot it off this mocked up apparatus here and keep playing with it and find out, run her through the paces and see what we've got here. But number one is a success. And number one is I just went and got another one here, Hornady. That's a Hornady 50 BMG case. That's all we know. Don't know the velocity, don't know the energy factor, don't know anything else about it except the fact that initial on this pig was successful. We're up and running. Time to continue on with the testing. So, until next time, enjoy the day.